Alright, Title 49 CFR FRA Railroad Administration Statute 262, Part 262 Implementation Program Capital Grants for Rail Line Relocation Improvement Projects. 262.1 Purpose, 262.3 Definitions, 265 Allocation Requirements, 262.7 Eligibility, 262.9 Criteria Selection Purposes, 262.11 Application Process, 262.13 Matching Requirements, 262.15 Environmental Assessment, 262.17 Combining Granting Awards, 262.19 Closing Out Procedures. 262.1 Purpose. The purpose is to care over the statutory mandatory set forth in Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 2014-154, requiring Secretary of Transportation promulgated the regulation implementing capital grants providing with financial assistance to local railway the relocation improvement of the project. The 262.3 definitions. Administrative means the FRA railroad administrator, his or her delegated. The allowable cost means for the project with the cost of the federal funding with the may be expended within the department. Only construction related costs will be allowed. Construction means the supervising inspection, demolition, actual building, incurring all the costs incidental to building the project described in Statute 262.9, but including bond costs and the other costs related to the issuance, bonds, other debts, financing instruments, the costs incurred with the granting and performance related to audits, including locating, surveying, map tracks related to the structure and installation, restoration, rehabilitation, acquisition, right of way. Relocation assistance, acquisition, replacement of housing site with the acquisition, rehabilitation, relocation, construction, replacement of housing, elimination, obstacles, relocation of utilities, any other activity defined in the FRA, including the architectural engineering cost and costs associated with the compliance with the National Environmental Policy Act and National Historic Preservation Act related with the statutes and regulations, or the FRA means of the Railroad Administration improvement means for the repair or enhancement existing the railroad infrastructure, construction of new railway infrastructure, the result of the improvement of the efficiency of the railway system, safety of those affected with the system, non-federal. Share means the portion of all the allowable costs of local railway relocation improvement project that may be paid through the cash or in-kind contribution by the state or other non-federal entity, any of the combination thereof. Private entity means for the domestic or foreign government with the profit as a non-profit organization. Project means for the local relocation improvement for the grant is required for the under the section quality of life. Means for the level of social, environmental, economic satisfaction, well-being of the community experience, included the fact that the first responder emergency respond with the time and impact of the emergency service and accessibility disabled to required for the American with Disability Act of the Section 504 Rehabilitation Act of the 1973 amendment of the school asset for the safety, traffic, delay, congestion, environmental, grade crossing, safety, noise level. Real property means the landing of the including land improvements of structure and then improvements thereto, including the movement of movable machinery and equipment. Relocation means the moving of the rail line with the vertically laterally new location. Vertical relocation refers to the raising above the current ground level of the sinking below the current ground level of the rail line. Lateral relocation refers to moving the rail line horizontal with the new location. Secondary means for the Secretary of the Transportation State, except for the used in Statute 262.17 means that any act of the United States, a political subdivision of the state with the District of Columbia and the District of Columbia. In Statute 262.17, the state means any of the 50 in the United States and the District of Columbia. Tangible personal property means for the property, other real property, physical existing or intrinsic value, including machinery, equipment, and vehicles. Alright, 262.5, allocation requirements. At least 50% of all of the granting awards under the section out of the funds appropriated with the fiscal year shall be provided with this grant award with not more than $20 million each for the designated high priority project will be excluded, but the allocation formula the FRA will adjust the $20 million amount to reflect the inflation of the official years beginning with the fiscal year of the 2006 base from the material supply with the component for the allocation inclusive to include the AR in railroad cost index. 262.7 eligibility. Say eligible for the grant with the FRA under the section for any of the construction project for the improvement is derived for the structure of the rail line that either is carried out with the purpose of mitigation of earth's effect of the railway traffic, the motor vehicle traffic, the flow of the community, for the quality of life, the economic development, or two, the involved the lateral vertical relocation of any portion of the reline, and B, only associated with the construction defined in Statute 262.3 will be considered allowable costs. 262.9 criteria of the selection of the project. Application must be submitted with the evidence for the sufficient for the FRA to determine whether the project proposed for the federal investment are cost effective in terms of benefits achieved with the relationship with the funds expended to the end of the FRA will conserve the anticipated public and private benefits associated with The railway line relocation improvement project within evaluating the applicant for the FRA will consider the following factors determining whether to the grant the award with the state under the part of the capability of the state of the fund the rail line relocation without the federal grant funding with the requirement of limitation relating to the allocation grant funding provided with the statute 262.5 equitable treatment of the various regions of the United States effective of the railway line relocated to improve the proposed on the motor vehicle, the pedestrian traffic safety community quality of life in the area commerce and the effective of the railway line relocated purpose of the freight rail passenger railway operation line. Any other FRA determines the relevant assessing the effectiveness and sufficiency of the grant line application achieving the goals of the national program, including the level of commitment of the non-federal and or private funds, private project, and anticipated public or private benefit. 262.11 Application process. The grant of application for the opportunities funded under the subsection must be submitted to the FRA through the grants.gov. The opportunities to apply will be posted in the FRA with the grants.gov and only after the funds have been appropriated with the capital grants relocation project for the electronic posting will contain all the information needed to apply with the grant, including required supporting with the documentation. In addition, with the information required for the individual application, the state must submit with a description of the anticipated block of the public and private benefits associated with each of the railway line location and improvement of the project with described in statute 262.7A1 and 2, but the state's assessment how with the benefits of the weight with the cost of the proposed project determination such benefits developed in consultation with the owner and the use of the railway line relocated and improved other private entity involved with the project. The state should be identified with any of the financial contributions and commitments inscribed with the private entity that is expected to benefit of the proposed project. Potential applications may request a meeting with the FRA Associated Administrator with the FRA the Railroad Development and Designer for to discuss the nature of the project being considered. 262.13 Matching requirements. The state and other non-federal entities shall pay with at least 10% of the construction cost of the project, but that must be funded within part with the grant award under the section. Non-federal state share required by the paragraph A section may be paid by in cash or in kind, but in-kind contributions are permitted to be counted under the section of the files. Contribution, real property, tangible, personal property, whether provided by the state or a person for the needs for the need of the project. Contributions are with the employee, state, and other non-federal entities with allowable costs, calculated on the basis of the cost incurred by the state and other non-federal entities to pay the benefits of the employees by excluding overhead of the general administrative costs. A payment and allowable cost that will incur with the project before the filing of the application for the grant with the project owner with the part with any kind of contribution were made with the project before the filing of the filing of the application, if and to the extent of the costs were incurred with the in-kind contributions were made within case of the comply with the provisions of the statute required with the satisfactory in order to carry out the project. In determining whether the approval of the application of the FRA will consider the feasibility of seeking the financial contribution commitment of the private entity involved with the project in portion for the expected of the benefit that determined in statute 262.11b with the cure of the such entity from the project. Alright, 216.15, environmental assessment. The provision for the grants fund with the FRA with the part with the subject of the variety with environmental historical preservation statutes implementing the regulations including but not limited to National Environment Policy, Title 42, U.S. Standard Code 4332, Intent Sequence, or Section 4F, the Department of Transportation, Title 49, U.S. Standard Code 303C, National Historic Preservation, Title 16, U.S. Standard Code 470, for the danger for the Special Act, Endangered Species Act, Title 16, U.S. Standard Code 1531. Appropriate environmental and historical documentation must be completed with approved the administrative prior to the decision. FRA to approve the project for the physical for construction for the FRA proceeded with the considered environmental impacts as posted in the FRA.gov as to U.S. Content 252 and National Environmental Protection Agency regulation for the Council of the Environmental Quality of Title 40 CFR Part 1500, the Advisory Council for the Historical Protection of the Historical Properties Regulation, Title 36 CFR Part 80, but will govern the FRA compliant with the applicable environmental historical preservation with the review of the requirements. Alright, 2B, statute for the 2 option for the proceeding with environmental historic preservation review for the state. The state may file the application under the subsection 262.11 and seek with the fund for the preliminary design environmental historical preservation compliant for the potential eligibility project for the FRA will review, decide the application of outline with the paragraph, alternatively state with the may proceed with the funds acts for the, any of the costs associated with the environmental historical preservation review, including the environmental assessment categorical accession and non-environmental impact statement that sends with the restriction of what type of impact it needs to manage of the environmental impact statement. The seeking reimbursement of the FRA will the cost of the extent with otherwise qualified the allowable cost of the FRA will approve the project of physical construction and of the grant agreement with the state, and the state may pays for the compliance with the work itself and may apply with the cost of 10% of matching requirements for the grant and award of the applicant should consult with the FRA for the beginning with environmental with historical preservation analysis. Alright, 262.17, combining grant awards. Two or more states, but not political subdivisions of the states, may pursuant to be an agreement that entered by the states, but combined with any part of the amounts provided through the grants for the project under this section, provided the project will be benefit each of the states in terms of the agreement, and the agreement is not the violation of the laws of any of the state. Alright, 262.19, closeout procedures. The 30 days before the end of the grant period, the FRA will notify the state with the period of performance for the grant to expire with such closeout procedures initiated to be within 90 days after the expiration and termination of the grant. The state must submit to the FRA any of all the following information depending on the terms of the grant, the final performance of the progress report, and final status of the report, the SF 269 outlay report, request of the reimbursement construction programs, SF 271, final request payment, SF 270, patent disclosure if applicable, the federal owned property report if applicable. Alright, C, if the project is completed within 90 days after the expansion of the termination of the grant, the state will complete with the full inspection of all the construction work completed under the grant with a submit with the report with the FRA. If the project is not completed, the state shall submit with the reporting detailing why the project was not completed. The FRA will review the closeout information submitted, adjusting the payments necessary. The FRA determine the state is owed by the additional funds. The FRA will promptly make the payment with the state with the aim of reimburse the allowable cost. If the state has received more funds, but the total allowable cost, the state must immediately refund to the FRA any balance encumbrance of the cash under advance for the unauthorized to retain use for any other grants. The FRA will notify the state in writing that the grant has been closed out. And that was part. I guess this one's the blank. We'll read part 264-2. Part 264, Surface Transportation Project Delivery Program Application Requirements of Determination. Proceeding for the complying with the Surface Transportation Project Delivering application requirements and termination. Authority Title 23, U.S. Standard Code 327-49, CFR 181, Source 79, FRR 55-403, September 16, 2014, otherwise noted. 264-101, procedure for the complying with the Surface Transportation Project Delivery Program Application Requirement Determination. The procedure complying with the Surface Transportation Project Delivery Program Application Requirement Determination set forth in Part 773, Title 23 Code Federal Regulations.